So we are going to watch a guide to see just how good Jing Yuan is. He's going to like show what's the best relics, what's the best teams, what's the best light cones, and all in all, I'm actually very excited to watch this because you guys didn't watch my update video on like what I'm going to be doing. I am going to pull for Jing Yuan. It is a guaranteed. I'm going to get him. Because I have a guaranteed like banner character as far as I know. And yeah. I am going to get him. Because Silverwolf, honestly, is going to get outclassed eventually. Very, very, very soon, I believe. Because there is going to be there's eventually going to be a 4-star character that's going to be able to like weakness like elemental weakness swap the enemies. There is going to be a 4-star eventually. So I'd rather not try and waste Primo Gems on like or Star Jade, Stellar Jade, on a 5-star that's going to get outclassed. Well, granted, you could say that Jing Yuan's going to be outclassed. Lelouch is going to be outclassed eventually. It is going to happen. It's what happens in gacha games. Genshin had it. I'm pretty sure Honkai Star, like Honkai Impact. I'm not sure about Honkai Impact because I haven't played it. Tower of Fantasy. I've heard that it happens in every fucking gacha game. So, I am going to get him. I am going to have fun with him. So I just wanted to let you guys know. So we are going to watch this build guide. To like have a rough idea on how I'm going to build him, and if you guys have him, to see how you guys should build him. So let's just jump straight into it, shall we?
Jing Yuan is finally here, and in this video,
let me just lower this oh no, it is quite low. Okay, it's fine.
I am going to showcase him with best teams and light cones at Eidolon 0, as well as provide you a guide on how to build Jing Yuan.
Okay, let's jump into this, shall we?
So Jing Yuan is pretty strong with all things considered, but there are some...
He's absolutely fucking broken because he makes you be able to have like a 5th party member essentially. His damage is like really good if you played like the trial like thing. To like hit everyone, his damage is so good. He really is deserving of like a 5-star character. So I'm just so excited because I'm going to get him because I'm on like 70 pity and I have like guaranteed like a banner character. So it's a guaranteed I am getting him. It's going to happen very soon. I can't wait.
Some things you need to know about him. Now, before I explain how he works, my Jing Yuan is level 70 and Eidolon 0, and to showcase his free-to-play potential, I will be using the Seriousness of Breakfast light cone, which is fully superimposed, and you can get all the copies from the Forgotten Hall shop. But later in the video, I will compare the damage difference between this light...
Yeah, I'm not going to get the 5-star light cone, by the way, just because it is the most broken thing for like any like area of effect character. I can't pronounce the like path that they have. It is the most broken thing because it increases damage, it increases like crit damage, it increases your damage. It's just so fucking broken. I was telling how good like Bronia's like a light cone is. God, I can't speak. I'm so excited. How Bronia's light cone is broken. For like any harmony character. This light cone is broken for any one of these like AoE characters. But I am not going to get it because I want to save my like Stellar Jade and try and get Lelouch because I do need another healer. If I get Bailu, I am most likely going to skip him. Maybe not because he is imaginary and I do need an imaginary like character. So there is still a chance I will be pulling Lelouch just so I can weakness break imaginary characters. But that said, there is always like another like elemental weakness or 2 elemental weaknesses on like a boss monster that is not imaginary. So the chances of me getting him is kind of low now. After I learned that his skill, his like healing thing, only procs at like 50% HP. Like, if the ally has like 50% HP, it only procs then, which really pisses me off. But that said, he does, like, at like Ascension 4, he does do like an AoE heal. His like skill does like instead of like single target, it does like AoE. So that does increase his like value, but for it to proc at 50% HP, kinda it kinda makes it very kinda bad. No, not like F tier. It's still, his healing's probably still like A tier, maybe B tier, because it's like it only procs at like 50, and he doesn't have like the guaranteed ult heal. It's more like a debuff, which honestly is actually quite good. But at the same time, you want a healer because you're able to heal. He's a 5-star. I want him to heal, which his healing is so like conditional, and I hate it. So I am going to be going for Jing Yuan. If I get Bailu, I'm not going to go for La Lucha. Just wanted to let you guys know.
Light Cone and his signature before dawn. Also, his traces are raised to level 5 for basic attack and level 7 skill and ultimate. Finally, he's equipped with Band of Sizzling Thunder Relic 4 set.
Is this the trial mode, or is this actually his character?
And his Planner Ornament set is inert.
No, this has to be like a trial, because these are way too good fucking... No, it is actually his character. How much money on time did you have to spend on getting all of these relics? God. There's no way you were able to get all of these so early. Well, I guess it's not early, but I mean with the limited amount of like resources that you have, you had to have spent money. There's no other way. Like your Stellar Jade to get energy back. There's no other way that you got so many golden artifacts without it.
Soto. Now, just like every other character, his damage multiplier for the basic attack is exactly the same. It deals low damage, generates 20 energy, and its only use is to create skill points. But in this case, you probably won't use it much, since you want to activate his skill every turn.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, his skill deals...
So he is going to be more like skill point heavy. So you do want to probably like pair him up with Ting Yun instead of Bronya, because Ting Yun is like a buff. It lasts for like 3 turns. And then you don't have to like use the skill again. So Ting Yun is probably going to be better with like Jing Yuan than Bronya, which kind of sucks, because Bronya's like buff is technically considered better, but because of the amount of skill points, and because if you don't crit, it kind of sucks. Like you will have to build like a crit rate on your damage dealer instead of like damage. Oh, well, like crit damage, you will have to build more crit rate to actually proc like make the most of Bronya's like buff. But either way, no, it's her ult that does the crit damage. I'm so dumb. Her skill is actually still considered more damage, but it is like skill point heavy. So all in all, I do believe Ting Yun is going to be better for Jing Yuan. Just because she is more like skill point friendly for like Ting Yuan that has to use his skill. Well, doesn't have to, but in order to make his like lightning lord thing like better or stronger, you will have to use your skill more.
Deals low damage to all enemies, generates 30 energy, and increases the Lightning Lord's hits per action by 2. Honestly, the skill is a bit disappointing when using against single targets like bosses.
Yeah, but I mean, it's supposed to be an AoE. He's not supposed to be used for single target. He is not. He is an AoE character. So you saying that his single target is bad, it's because he's not built for single target. He's not. Himiko is a prime example. She is made for AoE. Her single target is shit. Granted, her AoE damage is considered lacking compared to like other characters, but it's fine. He's an AoE. You're not supposed to be able to one-shot bosses. That's what you have Sealy, what's her name? Sushang? That's what you have those characters for. That's what the hunt path is for. He is an AoE character. You're not supposed to one-shot bosses with it.
Doesn't do that much, but the importance of this skill is to build Lightning Lord stacks. Now, moving on to Ultimate, it's got a pretty hefty cost of 130, and just like the skill, it doesn't deal that much damage. However, it does hit all enemies, increases the Lightning Lord stacks by 3, and inflicts strong break damage.
He has such good animations. And he has one extra animation because he has like the Lightning Lord thing. It is so good. I love this character. Just everything about him, his aesthetics to his design to like his like abilities and his ult. They just look so good. Every character in this game is so visually appealing. I love it.
which I'll talk about in a moment. So, with all that being said, even
Oh,
if he
look, it's a
deals
birdie.
elite damage quite well, Jing Yuan by himself would be absolutely mediocre at best. But thanks to the Lightning Lord, he actually becomes quite a beast. So,
Yeah.
how does the Lightning Lord work? Well, Jing Yuan summons him at the start of combat, and as you can see on the turn track, the Lord gets to act on his own. He will always have base 60 speed and 3 hit counts.
So if you pair him up with Asta, I know it's supposed to be Asta, but I'm just gonna go with Asta because I'm a big Black Clover fan and I could really not care about the names. If you put Jing Yuan with Asta, and you have like use her ult, is the Lightning Lord speed going to jump from 60 to 100? Because level 4, I believe, or 5, it goes up to like it gives like 40 speed to all characters. So will it go from 60 to 40, 60 to 100? Because if it does, then you'd want to pair him up, Jing Yuan with like Asta, just to give like the Lightning Lord more like attacks. Am I dumb, or is that actually like a good team comp?
He will deal damage 3 times. Now when he attacks, he picks targets at random, and for each hit, he will deal damage to one enemy.
Look at that damage!
Inflicting half a break unit, and the damage also hits adjacent enemies, but their weakness
That
bar
is
will
so
not be reduced.
broken.
Now with just 3 hit counts, it's not too impressive. However, you can increase the hit count by 2 when using Jing Yuan's skill, and
obviously with Eidolons it will go up.
by 3 when activating the ultimate. On average, you can expect the Lightning Lord to have about 5 hit counts, but quite often it will be 8 or 10, which is the max amount. Now what is also cool is
Look
that
how
with
good
each
it
hit
looks!
count, Lightning Lord's speed increases by 10. So if the base value is 60 at 3 hit counts, at 8 it will be 120, and this allows
Damn!
him to act sooner. But here's the tricky part, you always
Wait,
want
does the stacks go away once he actually attacks? Or does it just go back down to like 3? Because if he does, like, if the Lightning Lord has 10 stacks and it attacks, will it go back down to 3 or will it go back down to like 5 or like 7? Like, how much does it decrease? Because I did not look at that.
to make sure Jing Yuan is using his ultimate before Lightning Lord, so that he can give those extra 3 stacks and boost the damage. Same goes for
Okay.
buffers like Bronny.
So you
If
want to
using
use skill, ult before the Lightning Lord acts, is what I'm understanding here. Because, okay. So that just means, okay, so you're good. So his whole play kit is around the Lightning Lord instead of like having the Lightning Lord as more like a sub DPS. The Lightning Lord is the main DPS of his kit, as far as I'm understanding this, right?
her
Okay.
skill, you want to build her with lower speed than Jing Yuan, so that he can, for example,
Like, see here. You'd rather want Jing Yuan because her skill costs like a blah 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 blah. The skill like uses more skill points when you want to buff Jing Yuan. If you use Ting Yuan, Ting Yuan, Tinja? Ah, fuck! I forgot the names. I get the names so mixed up. If you'd use her instead of Bronya, you would have so much more skill point efficiency going on. And if you put her right over here and have him right over there, once you use her skill, it would automatically go over to him. So if you have Bronya's light cone, your Jing Yuan will be doing more damage. Because I did test it. It does depend on if you have like speed boots and so on and so on. But most of the time, if your buff is here, and your main damage dealer is here, it would automatically go over to them first. If you have speed boots, it's kind of more wonky. Because me personally, I don't have like a good speed boots or any speed boots as it is to like really test it. But if you don't have speed boots, buffer here, damage dealer here, and if you have Bronya's Light Cone, 3% extra damage to your damage dealer. So good. Really, really so good.
use his skill, then Bronya advances his action forward, he uses the skill again, and then if you have the energy, he also activates the ultimate. This way, you can easily achieve the 10 hit count stacks. And you want to do this because, as I said, Jing Yuan by himself deals mediocre damage, but thanks to the Lightning Lord, he suddenly becomes an insane
Look at that damage!
If you have one target, because
and every hit can crit, so if you build crit rate and have like massive like crit damage, you could do 100,000 damage. Okay, probably closer to like 80,000 if your crit rate is high enough, and if you have like decent crit damage, you could do roughly 80,000 damage with every Lightning Lord. 60 to 80. That is insane. But the average is probably going to be like 38 to 40. If my math isn't wrong, if you use his skill and then ult to get 10 stacks and you buff him, it's probably going to be around 38 to 40.
Because all 10 of those hit counts will just smash the enemy away.
Oh, 27.
Jing technique will allow him
yeah,
to...
so the average is most likely going to be 27. But if we're finally able to like up his, like get him completely leveled up, like all characters up, I don't see him doing less damage than like 48,000, maybe 50,000. So yeah.
Lightning Lord's hit count by 3 at the start of battle, so it's a nice way to start off.
Okay, so his technique does increase it. So it would be 6 instead of 3. Okay.
The fight. However, keep in mind that after Lightning Lord's turn is over, his hit counts reset back to the base value of 3 and 60 speed. Now, one more thing I want to quickly mention is that Jing Yuan has insane potential for breaking enemy weaknesses. While the basic attack inflicts 1 break unit, the skill will also break.
If you build break effect on him, and does the Lightning Lord take Jing Yuan's base break effect? Or does it have its own separate break effect? Because if the Lightning Lord has break effect, like takes Jing Yuan's break effect, doesn't that just mean that the Lightning Lord will do even more damage because it has a higher chance of like breaking enemies like weaknesses? Because it does more hits, so it does more damage and does more like more damage to the shield. Because if you time it perfectly, and the Lightning Lord like does break the like thing, doesn't that just mean even more damage? Or am I just overthinking this?
Break 1 unit, but on all enemies, and ultimate will reduce by 2 on all enemies, which is amazing. And as you saw earlier, Lightning Lords each main hit on 1 enemy reduces half a break unit. And if you're not sure what is considered a break unit, basically most normal enemies have 1 or 2 break units, so you can inflict weakness break with just a skill or ultimate, while the bosses have around 10, so it doesn't take that long before the boss is broken. For example, assuming Lightning Lord has 10 hits, if using Jing's skill and ultimate, he will inflict in total 8 break units, which is pretty crazy. All in all, when it comes to his kit, it's
I really want him.
Although you do have to understand that the majority of damage comes from the Lightning Lord. Also, keep in mind if
I want him now.
He becomes crowd controlled, the Lord will disappear, so make sure to keep this general well and healthy.
No, that's not that bad.
Let's start this damage showcase first with a fully superimposed seriousness of Breakfast Light Cone. His skill will deal 3,407 damage to 1 enemy, while the ultimate will unleash 7,700 damage.
Okay, yeah, if you compare it to like other characters, it is kind of low, because I'm pretty sure Serval does around the same, but Serval only does damage, skill only does damage to around 3 enemies, while Jing Yuan does damage to all enemies. And the ult is Serval's ult does do damage to everyone, but yeah, okay, I understand that it is kind of very low for a 5-star, but that said, it's the Lightning Lord that does the extra damage, which does put him above Serval by a long shot.
Or so. This damage, of course, accounts for the Band of Sizzling Thunder 4-set bonus, but you can also get up to 3 attack stacks from the Light Cone for a total of 24%, which gives a big boost to damage.
So it's increased damage for every enemy defeated. It just goes up even more. It is so damn broken. This Light Cone is actually really good.
However, you can only gain these stacks by defeating an enemy, so it becomes fully powered up after 3 enemies are taken out by Jing Yuan or his Lightning Lord. And so, with all 3 stacks, his skill hits for 3,000...
And it doesn't go away, does it? This like stack over here, this attack buff. It doesn't go away, does it? Because if it doesn't, that is actually really fucking good.
and ultimate goes for about 8,493, which
Yeah,
results
that's actually
in roughly
really good.
10% damage increase.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
these
not bad.
damage numbers I'm showing you assumes that the Lightning Lord has 8 hit counts, hits 3 enemies, and the splash damage hits at least 6 times, which is the smaller number you see from each main attack coming from the Lord. If we compare his single target output to 3 targets, it's about 70%
Damn! Look at that damage!
weaker, which is normal, since he is an erudition character and specializes in AoE. But even then, his single target damage coming from Lightning Lord is pretty good. Overall,
Yeah,
with a
that's
free-to-play
perfectly
light cone,
fine.
I personally think his damage is quite good. It's obviously not going to be as strong as Zila's Yangqing's,
But she's a hunt character, it's not going to be stronger. Zila, I call her Sealy because I can and no one can tell me otherwise. Sealy does more single target damage because she's a hunt character. If she did AoE, then she'd be the most broken character ever. But because he can use his skill and ult and a Lightning Lord, I think that puts his damage above Sealy's by a long shot. Because how many times have you thought, oh my god, I'm going to get fucked because this one enemy, I can't kill him, even though Silly does have, like, if you defeat an enemy, she does get another turn. If you use her ult, she does get another turn. I believe, I could be wrong, but even if there's 4 enemies on the field, then, oh well, too bad, you're fucked. Because this one enemy, by whatever like reason, he's the strongest, and you don't kill him or like the other enemies in one shot, and you can't do like damage to that dude, and he one shots you, it's game over. But because Lightning Lord and Jing Yuan does so, like, the damage is like added up because it's everything does come from him, so it's technically all of his damage. If you add his skill, his ult, and the Lightning Lord at 10 stacks, I would say that his damage is above Sealy's. Because I've seen Sealy, I've used her like as a support character, and yeah, I think I saw like what was it? I think it was like 40k with a crit with her ult. So and that was without like a buff character, without like Bronya or Ting Yuan. God, I forgot her name. So yeah, that was without a support character, and with it, it would probably jump up to about 60, maybe 70, 80,000. I have seen someone do like 100,000, but that's if you are able to build her with the best 5-star relics, the best light cone, her light cone, with having the best support built up as well. So yeah, overall, I think Jing Yuan's damage is very, very comparable to almost any other character because he does do damage to everyone. So, honestly, I think he's actually really good when it comes to damage. His damage is good.
Are Danhangs, since they specialize in killing bosses. However, Jing Yuan gains quite a massive boost in damage when using his signature light cone.
Yeah, look at this. Increase the wearer's crit damage by 36%. Increase the wearer's skill and ultimate damage by an extra 18%. After the wearer uses the skill or ult, they gain, I do not know how you pronounce this, upon triggering a follow-up attack, again, don't care, it will be consumed and the follow-up attack damage increases by 48%. Now this is whatever. Here is where it really gets good. An extra 36% crit damage and 18% like damage from like your skill and ult. And this is only level 1. I believe this jumps up to about, I think 40? Ugh, not 40. Maybe because I think that only goes up by like 1. Maybe if it goes up by 2, it's probably going to be like 48. But this is probably going to go up to about like 40 as well. Maybe 30. I don't really care about having the like the light cone like go up in levels, because honestly it's a 5-star. Your chances of getting multiple as a free to play or even getting one is low, so I don't really care. But just this alone at level 1, fucking broken.
I almost think it's unfair. Basically, if we look at these damage numbers side by side.
Look at this. Look at that damage. It's an extra 129 damage. Granted, it doesn't sound like a lot, but any bit of extra damage is good.
And considering the previous assumptions I made,
look at that!
Against 3 targets, before Dawn Light Cone
it's
deals
plus 20%
extra
damage.
And in single target, it becomes slightly better at 23%. Now,
that is broken.
The seriousness of Breakfast with all stacks active, but because building up the stacks can take a while, since Jing Yuan specifically needs to take out targets, before Dawn becomes even better compared to it with no stacks, reaching upwards to 31% against 3 targets
with no stacks,
and 35% against single targets.
Like, I mean, it is so brokenly stupid. It's just a shame that most people are not gonna get the light cone. Because most free-to-play players, you either have to get lucky and get Jing Yuan like really early, or get the light cone really early. Because free-to-play players are not getting both. Unless they get very lucky, and I am not lucky.
This is a staggering improvement in damage. And honestly, as someone who's coming from Genshin, I'm actually surprised how unfair this 5-star weapon is.
It is.
Regardless,
it's very unfair. It's so broken.
With all things considered, the free-to-play light cone still packs a strong punch, although keep in mind these numbers I've shown you did not include damage buffs from Jing Yuan or Bronya, so expect the damage difference to be even bigger. Still, if we stop comparing the 2 light cones and just focus on the free-to-play option, it actually deals really good damage with buffing, as you can see here. So overall, the personal damage that's coming from Jing Yuan is kinda amazing, especially in AoE scenarios.
Like it's perfectly fine.
To use Jing Yuan, his best in slot relic set will be Band of Sizzling Thunder 4 set, but considering we're still pretty early.
When the wearer uses this skill, increases the wearer's attack by 20% for 1 turn.
In the game, a 2-set combination of this and the Musketeer set is a nice alternative, or you can even go with a full Musketeer set instead.
The wearer's speed increases by 6. Does that apply to the Lightning Lord's speed? Probably not. And basic attack damage by... Nah, the full piece isn't really that good. Aside from the speed, you're going to very rarely do a basic attack if you pair him with Jing Yuan, which is very like skill point efficient. You're probably never going to use like the basic attack ever.
For the stats, focus on getting speed boots, which are really important for him because he has really low speed and he needs it to help him activate more often. Yeah. Especially considering this helps him build more stacks for the Lightning Lord. However, it is viable to just skip the speed boots and go for attack instead.
To buff his damage.
Lightning Lord's damage. And as for the body, either critical rate or damage is the way to go, but if you don't have...
Most likely crit rate. If you have the light cone, like his signature light cone, I would go with the crit rate. If you don't, most likely whichever has better stats. Because if your crit damage is around 100 and your crit rate is like 6, 7, or the average is like 12 or maybe 20, I believe is the average, I would rather go with a crit rate with like a substat of like crit damage if you're lucky enough to actually have one. But all in all, I would rather go with crit rate because your crit damage is obviously always higher, and if you have good crit damage substats, crit rate would be better because it would make that the Lightning Lord does do crits more often.
Attack percent works fine. Moving over to planar ornaments, there's inert Salsodo to further boost.
Increase the rarest crit rate by 8%. When the rarest crit rate reaches 50% or higher, the whereas ult and follow-up attack damage increases by 15%. That's really fucking good.
Critical rate, although keep in mind he does get 22% of it from the traces once you get him to the final.
Like, see, if you go with a crit rate thing, like chest piece, then I'd rather go with like the crit damage, like thingamabobs here. Granted, the ult damage could be significantly better than the other one because I don't know what the other one's like stats things are, because I'm dumb and I don't really look at that.
Ascension. Another great set would be the Space Sealing Station for extra attack, and it's located in World 3, which has 2 great sets in there. And for the main stats, definitely go with lightning damage on the sphere, and
Obviously.
as for the rope, attack percent is really good here,
Yeah.
although energy regeneration is also a strong option if you want to quickly build up the...
If you have Ting Yuan, I've got her fucking name. If you have her, energy recharge probably isn't like very needed. It still could be a lot better, because then you can just pop your ults constantly. But honestly, I would rather go with the attack, just because if you are using Ting Yuan with Jing Yuan, that's not her name. That is not her name. I just can't remember her name. The Fox Lady. Let's just go with that. If you're using Jing Yuan with the Fox Lady, then I would go with attack, because I believe her like ult does 50, and then one of her traces gives like extra like 10 like energy, so then it's even less needed for then energy recharge is even less needed, like needed less. So honestly, attack is the better thing, and because the Fox Lady is on his banner, you are going to be getting her eventually, unless you're very unlucky. Then and with her traces and her eidolons, just makes everything better. So honestly, attack percent is better. It really is.
Ultimate and gain those 3 stacks for Lightning Lord. You could go with Break Effect as well, but it's the lowest priority out of all these options.
It kinda
now,
is.
As you saw in the showcase, I was using the Seriousness of Breakfast, but it's a free-to-play option, and there are better light counts out there. Like, Today is a Peaceful Day, which you can get from the Battle Pass, and
Yeah, okay. I was gonna read it, but because it's the battle pass, I'm not going to, because I'm not gonna be spending any money.
even at first superimposition, it already beats the free-to-play option. For 5-star options,
Good for you. I don't have money to waste on the battle pass every time.
hands down his signature before dawn is absolutely amazing. You saw how much of a big damage bump it gives, but you could also go for the Night on the Milky Way, which is sort of free to play, since you could obtain it from the Starlight shop.
Yeah.
However, I would say if you want to obtain more summons from this shop, then one of the 4-star options are good enough. Finally, if you want to build a strong team, right now the current meta with the lack of resources is to focus on one hyper carry and create a team around them. So Jing Yuan
That is a fucking strong ass team. Hold on. Cause she buffs him, he shields, and she heals. This team isn't dying. There's no fucking way this team is dying.
Resources is to focus on one hyper carry and create a team around them. So Jing Yuan would need a healer and a tank, as well as a damage booster like Ting Yun or Bronya. You could also go for a team with Ting Yun and Bronya together, as well as a healer.
Ting Yun. I don't know why I was pronouncing her name so wrong. It's Ting Yun.
I assure you, you won't survive in Memory of Chaos without a tank, especially on the later stages. But outside of challenging content, Jing Yuan works great with debuffers, as well as another AoE or single target damage dealer, and it's very likely this will become more prominent as we get closer to endgame gearing. So what do I think about this general?
He's very good.
Well, it's pretty clear he is the best AoE damage dealer in the game right now, and thanks to the Lightning Lord, he can also dish out some insane single target damage. However, the competition right now is pretty serious. Zila and Yanqing are absolutely dominating the Memory of Chaos, and unfortunately, there's still one big problem that we have in this game. If you don't own Bailu, then you will not be able to clear Memory of Chaos. You desperately need 2 healers to beat all 10 stages.
I know! Stop reminding me. I know I need another healer.
And if you care about this, then I would suggest save up the Jades for when Luocha comes, since he is a healer, or, you know...
But his thing only procs at 50% HP! That's annoying!
Try your luck with Jing Yuan and hope you get Bailu when you lose your 50-50, but that's too unpredictable, especially for free-to-play. Still, his
By the time Lelouch's banner comes out, there is a very high chance that I could get Bailu. Because of the standard banner, I'm very close to getting like another 5-star, and I could get a 5-star early on the standard banner. So yeah, all in all, I should be able to get Bailu. If not, at 300 pulls on the standard banner, I could just go and get Bailu, but I'd rather try and get like Japard, because as he said, you would want to have another tank, and so far my only tanks that I have is March and the Fire MC. Like, there's so many characters that I want, but at the same time, for a free to play character, it's so fucking hard. But I am going to get Jing Yuan, and I'm going to try my best to like get Bailu. If I get Bailu, I'm most likely going to skip Lelucha, just because his healing is so situational, and I'd rather just have more certainty of surviving, and then use like my 300 with 300 like reward for like having 300 wishes. Get Japard. That's my plan.
Banner is really good. Jing Yuan, March 7th, and even Su Shang are all great characters, but obviously, Jing Yuan is insane with Jing Yuan,
Yes.
and she's overall the best 4-star in the game right now. So if you do want to try your luck, maybe pull for Jing Yuan, but since the 4-star rates are basically the same as in Genshin, I highly suggest to pull on featured banners only when you want the 5-star. But overall, I really like him. I expect he will become even better once I reach his final ascension, since I wasn't able to activate his final major trace, and that one is pretty huge.
After this, hold on, what?
Ascension, since I wasn't able to
After the skill is used, the crit rate increases by 10% for 2 turns? What? How is he balanced? How is he in any way balanced?
his final major trace, and that one is pretty huge. It's also funny since Lord's attacks are considered follow-up. Elation buffs in Simulated Universe turn him into an insane damage.
No way! 200? No, that's 30. Huh? Oh, yeah. Well, hold on. Yeah, that's 236,000 damage. 37,000 damage.
I just wish you could
That's insane.
control the Lightning Lord, because the randomness can sometimes be annoying, since you could choose an enemy that has high health and low priority, and you want to take out someone who's low health
Oh, it's fine. I don't see what the problem is.
and high priority. But then again, this is a gacha game, so I guess randomness comes naturally. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, be sure to press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Okay. My thoughts. I'm getting him. There's no debating it. I'm getting him. I love him. Having the Lightning Lord is just gonna make things better. Because it's considered a follow-up attack, even fucking better. I love him. I'm getting him. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys are going to do. If you guys are going to pull for him or save, let me know in the comments. And thank you guys for watching.